Twitter fight between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton has reached a whole new level. A day that began with Clinton blasting Trump ended with demonstrators attacking his supporters.
This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
On behalf of all,
Donald Trump is the most divisive president we've seen in my lifetime.
It seems that we live in a pretty turbulent time these days, mostly credited to the most recent presidential election. A recent Pew Research study showed that people are far more likely to associate themselves with a certain political party in contrast to past years. This Thanksgiving was particularly special because it was our turn to host it. Since I have family coming into Columbus from red and blue states, I thought it would be cool if I asked them what their thoughts were about the divisiveness of the nation. What's it like being a Republican in such a blue state, such as New Jersey?
Well, it's interesting. I will tell you that while I vote in every election, when I know going in that my vote is likely not going to count.
Even though that we live in a pretty polarizing time, I honestly don't think America is that divided. Most of the division comes from an increase in media attention, which has drawn out a lot more stronger opinions from the masses. Social media conglomerates such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube have created a network where knowledge is easily gathered, which has pushed for people to be more involved with developing opinions. This has resulted in many people moving to either side of the political spectrum. Because of this media boom, there's a lot of overreaction to certain controversy. The fact of the matter is, nothing on Donald Trump's Twitter account quite matches up to one of the most divided times in U.S. history. Enter the 1960s. I just want to ask, how do the political emotions of today compare to that of the 60s?
Well, I think it was significantly worse of a situation in the 60s. You started out with, in the early 60s, the battles over desegregation and the Democratic South opposing these, and most people knew right versus wrong, but there was a lot of opposition, and they fought it in courts, they fought it at the college campus doors, they fought it on buses, they fought it everywhere. So here's people on the news each night battling each other very significantly. And then you see the Vietnam War, which is another just tremendous upheaval in the country, where you've got North and South Vietnam representing the superpowers of the world, where Russia is opposing the West, and very brutal battles, lots of losses, a tremendous meat grinder kind of a war, and people got very weary of that, particularly the way Johnson ran the war, because he didn't allow the troops to win. And then you move later into the 60s, where you've got race riots in the street, sparked largely by black communities that thought they weren't being treated right by the police, and they would riot, particularly Watts out in Los Angeles. That went on for several days, and many people were killed. And then that was replicated around the country. Many cities had similar riots, and even in Columbus we had riots. And as I recall, that's one of the only times in my life that I went to bed with a loaded shotgun underneath, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So those times are much different than they are today, where you've just got political advocates mouthing off against each other. Those were serious issues back in the 60s.
America being divided always had a certain irony to it, but when compared to past events, we might not be as divided as we might think. The 1960s and early 70s marked a pivotal point in the United States history when the U.S. was firmly divided at its core. Even though the media has a tendency of exciting audiences on certain viewpoints, people need to realize that we all are united under one flag. Thanks for watching.